Ladies, gentlemen, and others, welcome back to the House of Fata Morgana. We left off in this interesting, unique take on their own visual novels. We're nearing, not towards the end, but to a chapter where it all began. Oh dear, the white girl said. Several days had passed since Michael has asked for time to think. He had still yet to show himself again. This is all my fault. The white girl paced anxiously through the halls on the off chance she might run into him. As per his request, though, she kept a distance from his chambers. Nevertheless, she was beginning to worry about the fact that he had scolded himself away for too long. She worked up the courage and made her way into his room. What if he doesn't want to see me ever again? I didn't consider I might be overstepping my bounds before opening my mouth. Every time she took was slow and laborious. Her mind raced within with worried doubts. I'd at least tell him I'm sorry. Rather than now desired to know how he felt, she was compelled by the guilt and desire to apologize. After walking for some time, she arrived at the door, sitting in an utterly unlit hallway. She drew in a breath of musty air and let out, repeating the process several times. Next, she reached her hand up to knock on the door, then pulled it back, also during this number of times. Oh, how adorable she was. I want nothing more than to give her a little nudge. After all, she was too sweet of a girl for worry to begin to think what was the place. I can't find the courage. Maybe I should come back another day. But what's the point of wait? I need to apologize to get the weight off his back now. She gathered the courage once more. Determined, the white-haired girl with a small fist towards the door, which then swung open. I'm sorry. Please. You must announce your presence. I almost walked right into you. And are you in that much hurry for a misshape? I'm sorry. And I believe I told you to stay away from my chambers. You did. I spent a long time debating whether I would, but decided I really wanted to tell you this. Oh well, actually, I'm sorry. What? The other day, I barely managed to get the words in my head all the way tomorrow. There was no room in my mind for anything else. I shoved my own thoughts and feelings into your face, not considering that might not be what you wanted, just running non-stop, not thinking at all. I was terribly disrespectful to you, completely selfish. You're a kinder man, I truly believe that. But you were only being curious, because you're a nice man. I'm sure you have a little interest in the factors of a queer little girl. So, well, if I could say here, it would be a wonderful blessing. But if you really don't want me here, my feelings are imposed on you, then I apologize. I am sorry, and I take my leave of this house. I'm sorry? Don't be. But my mind, don't worry, don't be. My mind went blank for a moment. What? I find it difficult to comprehend you. The other day you affirmed your intentions to stay, and now you say you'll leave without a struggle. You hold up in your room for so long that I thought, you didn't want me around. To be honest, I want to stay here, I do. I think you should do whatever you please. Huh? You can't stay, or you can leave. I will not press you to do one or the other. So, I'm not imposing? To tell the truth, I had to think about that for some time. However, I have now come to something of a solution. Since you're here, come into my room. What? But I thought I wasn't allowed to. To prevent what almost happened a few moments ago, so we don't actually run into each other. Sorry? You're forgiven. Now come in. Okay. Oh jeez, please. Don't let something in here. Oh yeah, the head. Is this a necklace? If that what it looks like to you, then I suppose that means I succeeded. Pick it up. Ah, it's a little bell. It's adorable. Please make an effort to wear that while you're in the house. Because it's so dark, there's always exists the risk that we might accidentally bump into one another. So I try to come up with a way to reduce that risk. Does that mean you don't leave a room because you're working on this? That's right. What other reason would I have? I think most people would assume it would because they put you in a bad mood, or that you didn't want them to be seen. I have little sense of how most people see the world. Sorry, I appreciate it though. I'm really glad to know that you put so much thought into a life together with me. It'll be difficult not to after the other day. I'm so happy right now. I can't think of any better word to describe. I couldn't be happier. You're being dramatic. To tell you the truth, I feel a little bad about it. Why? It seems rather imprudent to affix a bell to someone. You're not last, you're a person. That's why you've turned to Nicholas? Thank you very much. I'll keep it on me at all times. I really, truly appreciate Lord Michael. Don't call me Lord, please. Alright, then, I'll just call you Mike. And will you please call me Giselle? The windows. What? If we could open the windows. Never mind. I was just thinking we wouldn't need the bell if we could get some light in here. They can't be open? They're rusted shut. All the windows have been rusted for so long as I've been here. I assume you hadn't boarded them all up. That was done long before I ever arrived. After so many years, though, I hardly consider it an inconvenience anymore. It also starts to repel wanderers. Oh, really? Is there something odd about that? No. It just... I realized I had the wrong impression about a number of things. As I learn more, I see things in a different light. See you in a different light. And I'm sure there's still plenty more for me to learn. Of all the people I've ever met, you are perhaps the most difficult to predict. Not only do you have no aversion to the darkness, the dark, has always been a close friend of mine. Which is to say, it's just like the sun. Its light can simply be too strong to me. I'm like some kind of unholy monster that can't be exposed to sunlight. And you're anything but unholy. My name would suit you much better than me. Oh boy, fade to black, here we go once again. Time for a little bit more narration that I'm assuming. What the fuck? Is that her? That day, when I saw Giselle, I was wary of her appearance. Is that the witch? I didn't want her anywhere near me, but as my doubts about her faded, I began feeling something very different. As though a lump of my heart has been melted away, I began to yearn. Oh shit, here we go again. For her to be at my side, knowing full well it couldn't possibly last. Knowing how foolish she was, I found myself captivated by her. Shit, he's doing it again. Dude, this is the rule of 3, so after this, we're gonna see it. I found myself wishing to have stayed with me. Shit. What the f... The House of Fata Morgana is nearing its end. As the mark that true began the quest, the quiet days together in that dark mansion, they acknowledged and accepted each other. Prince no longer isolating themselves, but actively regular consistency. As mundane it seems, it's something that they had been unable to attain until then. Nevertheless, they were still somewhat fumbling around in the dark with one another, drawing closer and pushing away again. Michael, in his own ungrateful way, was beginning to open himself to things she said, while the white-haired girl was beginning to smile with greater frequency. They had taken to dining together, and her wish to learn to read was being granted. He taught her in the feeble light of a candle placed upon the table, the two sitting across from one another. Though Michael seemed to be well educated, he had not been instructed in the art of teaching, so he found the process quite grueling. But to the white-haired girl, the longer it took the better. Her primary objective was, after all, to spend time with him. The day passed, and eventually she reached a point where her comprehension was adequate enough without assistance. Her next request that was to read through a book together. Have you read every book in the library? No, I stopped reading. Most everything I'm sent is dull, informative. The diary of a lord, foolish makes-believe tale. You're not fond of fiction, I take it. What value is there in the lies and fantasies of another? Stories can be stories can be fascinating. I'm not changing that to fascinating. Tales of adventures can take a place you can never go before. Legends of heroes, folklore, stories of otherworldly phenomena. They can be terrifying and they can be exhilarating. They may not be real, but they give glimpse into an author's heart. Let you feel like you're seeing the same thing they saw. You're very emphatic. Your fiction inspires nothing that's sworn to me. However, perhaps long ago, it may have been able to, though I can no longer remember what it feels like. I'm sure I'll come back to you. You're not an empty man. Sorry, I'm just making you uncomfortable again. How about we read this book today? Jesus Christ. It appears to be a collection of legends. You haven't read this one yet? That's good to hear. It may be more enjoyable if it's a new experience for the both of us. It looks like a record of local legend. This book is divided into several sections, though it appears to be mostly superstitions. I'm curious what kind of story this area has. Two of them looking down at a simple, undecorated volume. As the white-haired girl said, it seems to be a collection of local legends passed down generations to generation. They sat across from one another at the table. Her turning the pages and Michael simply watching so as not to brush against her. Eventually, her eyes drawn to a particular warrant on one page. Bring her hands to the stuff. The witch. The chapter did the stories of a witch, or more precisely said, the witch's curse. The story went something like this. There once was a witch, skilled in dark arts. She lived a meager but peaceful life alongside the other villagers. But then a long drought struck the village, which the people blame on the witch. The witch was sentenced to death as the fire blazed around her. Smoke rose higher into the air. The smoke soon became rain clouds, blessing the village with an end to the drought. The crop was revitalized, and the villagers fantasized themselves heroes. However, this rain also brought madness upon the people. Though the earth below them was lush and fertile, the villagers were losing their minds, and they eventually began to take each other's lives. The witch still lived on, in the form of a curse. Many victims fell to the witch's curse. Though it did not only take, it was also fulfill people's desires. The villagers have gone mad, but their wish for freedom from the drought had been granted. Thus, the legend has passed down as follows. The witch will grant your wish in exchange for a great sacrifice. As smoke in the sky, she watches down upon us from above. To reach the witch, climb for the heavens, but know that the road is a road to destruction. People still believe the witch's legends even now, I suppose. And that's why I face accusations of being a witch. Is it not? This is not an area very welcoming to outsiders, especially one that stands out as much as you. What brought you to this region in the first place? My story is, I'm sure as you heard before. I was cast out of my house. I came from a very poor family. We could barely afford to keep everyone fed. Being as big as I am, it was only natural that I could be the first to go. I see. What I don't understand, though, is why the witch said to grant people's wishes. That is so, she had reason enough to hold a grudge, but not to give people things they asked for. Well, we know that for the Yamabito, the beast died. All we have to go on is a few pages. There's no saying what might have changed or been added to. It's almost certain the entire legend isn't written here. That said, if you expect everything as was written, I can infer you what the witch's reason might have been. And that is, if you truly want it that much, you can have it. But I'll make certain your suffering outweighs it. Huh? Despair that comes from a moment of happiness is far more agonizing than despair alone. I presume that's what the witch decided to grant people's wishes. That is one way to look at it. May I ask you something? Go on. When I first arrived here, you told me that a cursed witch used to live in this mansion. After reading this legend, I'm finding it hard to believe that you made that up simply to scare me away. I appropriate the tale, nothing more. It is said that the witch was born in this house. What? Quite the place my family found for me. But it was a very clever decision putting me here, I think. Not many people would like to come near a house with such a deprive. But no, never mind, that makes sense. I suspect that's what she was going to say then. If the witches had to grant wishes, then what wouldn't those are people who desperately wanted something? They don't care what price they must pay. Or perhaps she was correct. Perhaps there have been those that had come to this mansion chasing after the legend. And perhaps encountered Michael, touching him and lost their lives. On that day in the garden he had said, "Many things are buried here." Perhaps it included such visitors. What the hell was going on? I wonder if that story might have been more than more superstition. Well, if the witch legend really did exist, what would you do? It might be something nice to talk to her, maybe. That all? Really? I feel a little bad for her, though. The only people who ever visit her are those to ask for something, after all. I can only imagine just how lonely they must be. I swear, I cannot comprehend the way your mind works. Sorry? Although, if we assume this legend is true, I have no idea what climbing for the heavens might be. Oh. The mansion has an observation tower, or I suppose what used to be an observation tower. And it's quite a tall structure. This is the house which was supposedly born. A tower which of the heavens seems like a perfect place to find her, if she really is here. Oh yes, I remember seeing a rather tall structure first approach the mansion. Would you like to see it? Of course. Please lead the way. I feel like this is going to be bad for the both of them. The two of them left, because it feels like this is where they're going to meet the witch, and then the whole house is going to burn down, because we are nearing that point where we are going to see the girl. What a sweet girl we saw. Yep, here we go. It wasn't like because like they were shouting in the war, and the maid forcibly pulled us through. Even she stopped, because this has got to be it. With Michael in the lead, the two climbed a long spiral staircase. There were many more stairs than what our girl had anticipated, and as soon as she found herself short of breath, luckily windows was carved with stone and engraved in intervals. Peeping through one of them, she could see a village in the distance. A pleasantly cool, high-altitude breeze brushed across her face. Oh boy. And there's the door. After much climbing, they finally ran on top of the door. Where a door made of partially round wood stood, Michael pulled open the door, revealing a small room with no windows or doors in sight. Hey! This is the top of the tower. The story. It all connects back to the mansion. Despite it being called an observation tower, you can barely observe anything. That's the story that the girl told about the girl who was locked up. That's the story the girl told locked up. She couldn't tell the days what it is. Days. Her face covered. Holy crap. It's all connecting back together. This house really is cursed. And slightly below it, a single small window through which shone a little ray of light. The being cleaved through the darkness like a sharpened blade of a beautiful sword. The darkness draped over the rest of the room and only served to make more impressive that solitary ray of light. It had a magical fairy tale quality to it. As if being pulled by it, she drew towards the light. I suspect there was one large window in this room. If you look closely, you can see it's seen in stone to the wall. The color stones differ slightly on the side of the scenes. I presume something caused them to seal off the window after it was built. Though I don't know what that something might be. Oh shit. There she is. The white-haired girl, Giselle. Michael's eyes fell upon the white-haired girl wrapped in beam of light. He sputtered to his step. A man who never flinched at anything. He had a long since the sub between such strings of a heart was utterly bewitched. He had never seen her illuminating so vividly before, and she was having a great deal of trouble finding the words to describe her striking beauty. If someone had been chased out of her home and accused of being a witch, the white girl looked less like a peculiar of the dark arts, and more like one of the host of heavens. Michael undoubtedly felt the same way for his gaze, fixated firmly upon her. Oh, she moved her eyes again. Dazzling, isn't it? Like a staircase leading to the heavens. Yes, perhaps so. Look at her face, it moved. Is something the matter? No. I'm fine. Look at that smile. You know, it feels a little like there's something odd in the air here. It feels like something actually might be listening. If the witch were to speak to you, what would you say to her? I would ask her to tell me her true feelings, and tell me what kind of person she was, and what kind of pain she had to endure. I just want to know how she felt. This woman, people branded her a witch. The legend was written from a neutral perspective. It's possible she was a fearsome witch. It's also possible she wasn't. I get the feeling she was just prosecuted like me and you. Unlike you, I am truly impure. Disagree all you want, but my touch kills. I'm a strange, incomprehensible, irrational creature, or maybe I'm not even a living being, and that's why when I touch them, that is, I bring them death. Again, her eyes are moving. If only I actually were a witch. If only I actually had some kind of irrational power, regardless whether it came from God or the devil, then I could be able to grant people wishes. My wish not to be granted, but it's what I want to do. I want to be able to touch you. I preferably content with nothing changing, which was never being able to touch one another. I will be more than happy with that. But I'm allowed to dream it, aren't I? It doesn't have to be in its life. I pray the day will come to get closer, even happens in another life. Happiness is very much strange to me, but I am allowed to dream it too. You are. I will never touch you, I swear, but I would like to dream about it. I would like to imagine placing my hand upon your cheek. You can't. Reach out for me. No, I don't want to. Shit, you're dead. I will imagine it too. I'll imagine my fingers running through your hair, brushing up against my skin. I can feel you warm. There was a wall between them, a wall that they couldn't cross. For if they do, it means the warrior girl's death. No matter how much they yearn for it, they could not possibly touch one another. So they did so within the confines of their imagination, envisioning as much as the detail as they could imagine. It was sad but sweet, a moment of pristine, untainted beauty. The two of them embraced serenity, as feelings that were cursed might have been to imagine. On top of opposition, a pure bond was being shared. A fleeting moment between a young man with a cursed touch and a kind-hearted, beautiful girl. The dream did not last long, for God is quite cruel. They simply wanted to be together, that was all. Their wish was hardly unreasonable. Only a quiet piece of life together. But misfortune was creeping ever near. Its footsteps growing more and more pronounced. And that's what I can probably assume after the sad sentence. It's all gonna go downhill. Here it comes. Death. Is someone at the door? The flow of time was hazy within the mansion's walls. They had a little way of telling whether it was night or day, preventing them from knowing exactly how much time had passed. The wire girl made a habit of climbing the observation tower so often to where the sun was up, which allowed her to approximately. Consequently, when she knocked at the door, she was not aware just how deep the night was outside. The forest and beasts alike lay quietly at rest. All right. The stores and cells are almost exhausted. It must be this month's delivery. Not thinking the worth of bothering. Oh boy, she's dead. She's dead. Are you the witch that grants people wishes? Even that moment that the wire girl realized she had been careless. The man who sought out the mansion because she believed the legend. He did not seem particularly right-minded, or perhaps the result warned with force. Perhaps it was because he was being down, thought to ask for the witch's help. In a word, you see, man. No, there's no witch here. Sure there is. Don't you lie to me. I can hear the witch's voice. She led me to this house. I promise you there isn't. Now please be on your way. I need to find this place. How many days I've gone without food or water? I'm hearing you telling me to get lost. I don't know what you want from me. I'm not happy to give you a little food, so please. I'm happy. There's really no witch. No witch lives here. There's nothing but a witch. She does exist. She doesn't live here. I see. That means just no ordinary person. Just a person. Just a girl. There ain't nothing you can do. No, get away from me. What are you doing? You're wasting time for you. Just take it all. I'm starving, yeah. I'm so hungry I can eat a human. You're about to commit a grievous sin. Are you not ashamed to act in defiance of God? God? If I believe God, would I become begging to a witch? I do not fear. I'm sure as hell don't fear people. Who's gonna show up in the middle of nowhere? You gonna call me out? Who's gonna stop me? No, that's no one's gonna stop me. No one's gonna come but offer me salvation. Ah, there's a thought. You trying to kill you. What are you doing? What? There's other people here? Wire girl lay pinned on the floor beneath the yelling bandit, pleading for help with the ruby eyes. As soon as Michael grabbed the situation, he took his candle aside and leapt for the man's arm. The candle ship was struck craving with the floor at the impact. Something gleamed in the man's hand, and then, without hesitation, he thrust it at Michael. Michael? Oh, stupid must be to come me unarmed. In his hand, the man held a knife and tipping dripping Michael's blood. The red slip for the gash in his arm. You're the only other person by the looks of it, eh? Perfect. I'll take you both out. You. What? You don't appear to know whose house you tried to break into. What are you about? Regret your ignorance to your very last breath. You messed up my head, you madman. You stay the hell back. Don't take one step in. Damn, he's dead. I inherit the witch's curse. Let go. Michael clutched the man's face into one hand. The man raised his knife to strike back, but... What's happening? The drug drained from his finger, the knife falling to the floor. The man's right in Michael's grip. My face! Ah, I can't breathe. Leave this place immediately. Though you won't get far afflicted with my curse. Helpless to fight back. Nay, helpless to even consider fighting back. The bandit fled the mansion in his wake, only the wire girl and the bleeding Michael remained. I just saw a man's life drained from him. His face withering away, sucked completely dry. I didn't doubt him, but dear God, that was quite disturbing for you. I'm sure. No, not at all. It's my fault anyway. If I had been careless. Oh, your harm. When did you get that rap? Please don't touch me. You mustn't touch me. This wound is hardly fatal. It's all my fault, I'm sorry. No. The greater other blame falls on me for saying nothing. Next time comes someone to the door, let me know. I'm sorry. Please, you don't need to apologize. I am, well, yes. For once, I'm actually proud of myself. I'm proud I can use this terrible ability of mine to do something more than just take life. To protect someone I care about. So like I said, please don't apologize. Alright, thank you. Michael, I'm glad you're here. I care about you too. That's... thank you. Yep, and with that, our fate has been sealed. Had the flame on Michael's kill not gone out when he threw it on the floor, you could see the hard smile on Michael's face. And she would have seen the flush and red and awkward smile on Michael's stone blank face. Cheek, where a few drops of blood landed, but alas, they had no light. The House in Fata Morgana will return after these messages. Ooh, get about 30 minutes left. The collapse of their happiness came slowly, gradually. Perhaps because she had touched his blood instead of the skin. But the deterioration of the warrior girl's health kept along at a relaxed pace. The life was not sucked out of her in the blink of an eye, as it had been from the bandit. She merely grew progressively less and less healthy. But its physical decay, she was bestowed with one blessing, her beauty remained untouched. But as far as blessing went, surely there was no other she could have been granted. Could God not pick something a little better for her? By the time the two of them realized what was happening, the white-haired girl was grown so weak she could hardly leave her bed. Yes. Oh, you are there. I am. Thank goodness. I can't see very well anymore. How could this happen? I thought I had saved you, but no. I did the exact opposite. Please, don't talk that way. You did save me that day. Why are you on the cups of death now? And it's all my fault. Because of this curse I bear. How could this happen? Why did this have to happen? What am I? Why was I given this body? Michael! Can I, ask you a favor? Go ahead. Stay with me, please. As much as you can. Until the very end day. I was going to do as much anyway. Thank you. I'm so happy, Michael. Happier than I could ever be. I mean that. You didn't just save my life, you saved me. I've been saved, but only me. I wonder how you're gonna handle things when I'm gone. If only I had opened that door that day, I wouldn't be leaving him alone right now. And we could be happy together for even longer. Yes. Would you please hold my hand? I think it's probably safe now. I will not. I cannot touch you. If I do, I might take whatever remains of your life. Take your beauty away. And force you to die hideous. I cannot touch you. Oh, so cute. Here we go. Morgan. This is it. Oh boy, this is it. Morgan's coming. The screen is getting very disorientated. It's her. Oh boy. I was way back from the washroom, so there's like I heard a muffled noise. Got it. Good. He was having trouble making out what they were saying, but he could tell some men that are outside the front door. If I kill them all through a heavy door, meant they were probably shouting quietly. An indescribable sense of unease came over him. Dread. He drew near the door and focused his voice on the other side of the wall. It grew cleaner enough for him to make out what they were saying. Everything's in place. We're ready to kill this witch now. This is definitely the place. The half-dead bandit said she was in this mansion. Listen well. No matter what you find here, we kill it. It could be a child for all I care. That didn't change anything. Kill the witch. Yes. Kill the witch. Kill the witch. What he heard beyond the door was men shouting for the death of the witch. Now Michael regretted his decision to let the bandit go free, and now watch over him to the moment of his demise. He must have made his way down the village in search for help, where he revealed he found out the mansion. Damn it! But it was too late. Regret would have solved nothing. He couldn't stop the village from raiding the house, nor could he stop the white girl from dying from the effects of this curse. He was helpless to do anything. The years of his fate had locked him on the path of tragedy and were turning The men at barge began trying to break down the door with the sounds like a battering ram. Now, the first strike wasn't enough to break the barrier. It was still quite powerful. He was certainly not hopeful for long. Michael's mind raced. Was there anything he could do at this predicament? How could he escape from the corner he had been backed into? Without him possessing any human powers, he would be powerless against a full mob of adults. The village almost certainly came armed well. Michael? What are you doing here? You only worsened your kitchen by exerting yourself. I had a stinking feeling. I had a nose for down here. It seems that I brought all misfortunes upon you. Don't say that! Don't say that! If I hadn't come here, this would never happen. You have never been in any danger. Please, Michael, hand me over to the men outside. Absolutely not! I will do no such thing. They're here for the witch, aren't they? I'm guessing they're the same people who were chasing me before. Shit. The villagers had poor harvests here, I hear. The villagers, like the village. And I believe it's the witch's curse. You're not a witch! I need someone to fill the role, though. So please, hand me over. And then escape on your own. I could never. Please, Michael. I'm the one that's cursed, not you. And you want me to hand you over? I could not. I would not let her have nothing. Not a thing. I would have nothing. But after so long, I finally found someone who was afraid of me, who wouldn't run. I have no interest in the world that would take you away from me. Make me live alone once more. To hell with such a world. Michael. Would you be willing to die with me? If that is what you wish, to stay with me till the very end. Oh boy, I probably want to hear that, just him. No, not probably. I did. I want to have someone on my side with as much as him. It's so lonely not having anyone to live alone, to die alone. I do not. Holy shit. I do not have anyone to watch over you. For no one will even know when you're dead. Wait, hold on, let me read that right. Do not have anyone watching over you. For no one to even know you're dead. I simply wanted someone to tell me they're here for me. To be there, to hold my hand. How wonderful that would be. To allow me to accept all the suffering. So please, tell me you'll... Oh shit. Yeah, they're going up the tower. Boom. Michael the White Girl shoots spend the final moments at the top of the observation tower. They hear the crash of the battering ram against the door and shout to band the stopping feet. Spoiled that the ray of light shining through the little window was beautiful as always. The room's airs of serenity remain unpeached. As the long contact, the White Girl was terribly out of breath. Michael considered 7 times offering her his hand. The positive of doing so might arrive with the latch grips with light stayed by his hand. Sounds like they broke down the door. I'm glad that we made up here when we did. I'm sorry if you've asked this. Don't be. I would have chosen for my final moments as well. This is the one place in the mansion that needs sunlight. A place I can get a good look at you. Thank you. And yep, their fate is sealed. They're dead. Look at them. I'm sure they're glad I was able to end up here. That I was able to meet you. More than anything, that you said you cared about me. Have I imagined becoming an essential part of your life? Did you need to ask? I wouldn't be here otherwise. I feel the same way as you, I'm sure of it. The two of us are more similar than you probably care to me. Can I ask you one more thing? Go on. Would you embrace me? This is to be the end. This is my last chance. And I don't want to end without being able to touch you. Just that. Please don't confuse me this night. Just do it, please. I won't keep you waiting long. Oh, thank you. This is. I've always wanted this. I dreamed we were room too. I dreamed of it too. Thank you. I'm so very happy. And they're dead. She's still so beautiful. What a cruel joke. Could you not give so much of a miracle? One that allows us both to survive. Where are you? Where'd you get off to? I can't find her, damn it. Hey, there's some stairs over here. They lead up. Beneath the single ray of sunlight, the wire girl lay completely still. Naive, frail sight keeping me closely. She remained as gorgeous as though she's significant. Do one thing. I would not allow anyone to soil the sunlight. Yet a fleeting except through it all, he would protect that room where she lied. Hey, there's someone up there. So this is where you've been hiding, infernal witch. Wait, that's not the girl. Oh boy, they're all dead. He growled, shut. He snuck in deep breath and shot at the top of his lungs. I am the witch you see. I have heard her curse. It is I who brings calamity upon you. You hear that? But he's a man or a woman, doesn't matter. Death to anyone who ties that witch. Cleansed of all impurity. Kill him, kill him! I will not flinch aside the man. He stood undialed between heaven and the dead. He did not flinch and then raise a weapon upon against him, nor when it pierced his body. Oh boy. Is Michael in armor or something? No, he's not in armor. Holy crap. Michael's fucking dead. Damn. Die. Take your curse with you. I have no need for this life anymore. It is only yours. Damn. I am cursed. To even kill that which I was supposed to protect. But at the very last, protect one thing before my life is done. Not even one of you will leave this place. Either die by my curse. Blood spilling from cheek blood flowed down the stairs and down like a river. At the soaking feet of every single man who stormed the mansion. This was the last thing he saw before the final prince of light slipped between his fingers, which brought him a faint smile upon his lips. What a sad tale again. Door number 1 and door number 4 might be my favorite stories. Neither of them expected what happened next, though for God had almost twisted sense of humor. The wire girl miraculously passed away without being robbed or abused. Why am I still alive? She would rather not pass away at all. Quite cruel of him, was it not? Michael? Where have you gone, Michael? Michael! I smell blood. Oh boy. For he had allowed her to die, she would not be made witness to seeing that awaited her. No, no. I drew upon that moment. The ravaged corpse of her beloved, blood streaming down the spiral staircase, and the sickening stench it raised. No, why? And he was not the only body. The villagers saw the mansion had been subject to the curse, life drained from the withered shells. Oh, I did this. Michael, why? Why am I the only one still alive? That's a question I cannot answer either. Perhaps this curse did not affect those you love, as terrible, cruel as that might be. I cannot say why. We should have gone together. A world without you has no meaning. Had she actually spent her life there in that room on the top of the tower? Perhaps this tale. She would have been at least be able to have the man she loved at her side, and tell her of her last moment upon this earth. But that's not what transpired. She had survived and left utterly alone. So I called out to her. Would you like to see him once more? What? Morgan? I have the power to help you meet him again. Who's there? Why are you here? You know what they call this mansion? So what do you suppose remains on these grounds? No, what? No way. You're from the legend. You actually exist? Now I ask you a simple question. Would you like to see him again? The witch grants people wishes, but at a price. I said I couldn't ask for something that matter. But that's all changed now that I've lost. Is it truly possible? Then yes. I want to see him again. Bring him back to life. Regrettably, I cannot directly meddle with the force of life and death. However, I can grant you this. Your resurrection. Resurrection, correct. To ensure that you remain as yourself in future lives and you are not reborn as someone else. Your body and mind shall be reconstructed, as shall his. If you sincerely wish to reunite with another, if you are genuinely need to each other's lives, you will eventually meet again. All I can promise is your eternal resurrections. What you make of it's up to you. You want to see him again, don't you? You want to hear his voice again, don't you? You want to feel his hands on your cheeks once more, don't you? If that's what you want, then you must remain who you are. You are simply reborn. That won't be you. So, there wouldn't be any point, would there be? Me as I am, and he is he. Make up your mind quickly. I will not wait long. I want to see him again. As you wish, sweet little girl. I shall grant you both eternal resurrection, and pray with all my heart that you can attain true happiness. Happiness, and all three stories has a price. Shortly thereafter, the wire girl took her own life. So that she left the game by remaining in prison time. To ride with Michael, she needed to make her way to next life, and thus the mansion was left format to travel slowly through the ages. So someone came along to give her life once more. Ah, yes, the brunette-haired family, our foreign guy. Everyone, they all had a role. They weren't to me. But unfathomable amount of time has passed. Those two are still yet to reunite. Have they, Master? You know now who you are, do you not? You remember everything now, don't you? You were present in every single era. The reason for which, as I described in the previous tale, because you yearned to reunite with someone. That person never showed up in any era. Poor sweet you, having no memory of that. Those lives with other men? Is there any surprise misfortune before those eras then? The doors were enclosed rather than outside. The departed and the maid were inside the dull monarchy room at the top of the observation tower. Oh, well, I know where I am now. An all-inspiring ray of light shined through the lone window, wiping curious and improved darkness, stayed alone in the room. The maid wore a gentle but briefly cold smile as she looked straight at him. It's not your fault misfortune befell you. The only force to blame for that is fate. You're always so kind, so pure-hearted. Your boundless trust for others and the goodness of people. You always surely imagine if that isn't right. There is no greater misfortune than someone as pure, as beautiful as you, and being mercilessly thrown into grinding gears of tragedy again and again. I still have pity for everything you had to go through. Your poor soul. You must be utterly exhausted. Constantly betrayed the man you were waiting for, never apprehended. After so long, your spirit wore down to the bone. You lost any and all ruins for you ever were. Who you were hoping to find wanted in this illusionary mansion, cut off from the real world. The real world. You and I are the only ones here. The man you seek is nowhere to be found. You still not figuring it out? Then allow me to tell you everything. I am the cursed witch Morgan, who haunts these mansions, and you are the tragic, playful thing of fate. The white-haired girl named Giselle. Did my calling you master confuse you? If so, then I apologize. My habit calling the master from mistress of the house of master is quite word, Giselle, and yes, that means piercing what you think it does. And I have accepted you as my new master. That I wish for you to remain here, to stay with me. So let us put an end to this journey. Do not worry, there's nothing to fear. We are simply going to step outside of the river of time. Nothing unpleasant will happen to you again. You will be here with you for all eternity, and I'll give you my utmost care. You will not have to wait anymore. Forget about him, the man you once sought, and I'm sure you'll find happiness. Please do it for me. I've been waiting for you for so very, very long. I want nothing more than to see you again. Holy shit! So we were Michael. We were Giselle. We were the white-haired girl. So I'm waiting for. Despite my serious desire to spend my days with you, which is why I wanted to recall everything. For surely you're not willing to repeat the same fate. If you know all the pain it's caused, you suffer thus far. Spend eternity with me, in the gentle embraces of darkness. The man's hands depart. Her fingers press against his. We're as cold as ever. Oh shit. So she had. What should he do? Something seems off. Not only with the The claimant, so. Shit. Shit. A curse on your soul. That's right. The white-haired girl was never at the mansion. Then who was it? It was you. There's still a story left untold. What? The fourth door was a lie. What do you mean? It was not some sweet little tragedy. The story was pure fantasy. That? No, that was the truth. That's where it all began. It's what happened then. You spent a miserable years last year until you showed up here and... What? The potter reached out and grasped for it. He pulled himself in. His silhouette was being hazy out until it began to take form. His mind, his consciousness, his heart, his soul, and his body. Who are